Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. The government stresses on independence of Center of Competition Protection and Prevention of Monopoly is to provide an atmosphere of economic freedom. And 49,000 male and female students start their first semester general education diploma exams. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed has issued Royal Decree number 7/2018 on issuing the law of penalty. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the day following its issue. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of Qatar, in reply to His Majesty's greetings cable on the occasion of Qatar's National Day anniversary. Mining sector did not achieve the pursued goal that was stated by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masood Al-Sneidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, while he was hosted by the Shura Council. The members of the Shura Council emphasized on the necessity to get over the current economic challenges through diversifying income sources and creating job opportunities, along with limiting remittances of foreign laborers. They as well affirmed on the procedural delay of the government regarding investments and the continuation of clandestine trade, adding that those responsible of such illegal activities must be sued. A lively discussion between the Minister of Commerce and Industry and members of the Shura Council was held regarding the contribution of the mining sector to the Sultanate gross domestic product, which amounted to 143 million Omani riyals. The members added that the companies working in the mining sector have not contributed in the development of societies. The minister mentioned that the volume of remittances of foreign laborers outside the Sultanate reached 4 billion Omani riyals in 2017, adding that the ministry will work hard to eliminate it. The minister affirmed that the Omani government refused the factory's request to sell the gas for $3 for every million thermal unit, as the Omani government will sell the natural gas according to the international prices. Protecting competitiveness and preventing monopoly is a step forward for the Sultanate towards wide horizons of economic diversification and attracting investments. The government, in cooperation with the Center of Competition Protection and Prevention of Monopoly, is working to complete the draft law of foreign investment and tax disclosure. With the issuance of the regulations and decisions of the new center, all specializations and tasks at the Department of Competitiveness and Prevention of Monopoly at the Public Authority for Consumer Protection were moved to the center. Meanwhile, the Shura Council sessions focused on various aspects of the center, such as its independence, while His Excellency the Minister of Commerce and Industry stressed that the government's vision of management of the center will be through an independent council that will be appointed by the Council of Ministers. He also said that the administration of the center will be in 3 or 4 levels, including economic experts, lawmen, judges, and businessmen. It is worth mentioning that one of the main goals of the center is to provide an atmosphere of economic freedom. "40,000 male and female students started their first semester general education diploma exams in various governorates of the Sultanate. A number of students expressed their satisfaction on the first day of the exams as being easy and well organized. The Ministry of Education prepared 4 examination correction centers that include around 6,400 teachers. The ministry gave directions to students and took necessary steps to facilitate examinations and further provide a suitable atmosphere for students during exams. The Ministry of Manpower signed a cooperation agreement with Oman Liquefied Natural Gas Company, OLNG, to finance a number of projects in the vocational college in the Wilaya of Sib. The cost of financing these projects amounted to 85,000 Omani riyals and comes within the corporate social responsibility of OLNG. OL&G financial support targets providing mechanic workshop at LC Vocational College with the latest equipment and devices. The agreement will contribute in training national manpower and provide them with the skills needed in the field of mechanical engineering. Reviewing bilateral relations between the Sultanate and Germany and matters of mutual concern was the main aspect of discussions during the meeting held by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Thomas Friedrich, German ambassador accredited to the Sultanate. Joint relations between the Sultanate and France were also discussed by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Rino Salan, France ambassador accredited to the Sultanate. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Moria Tourism Development Company marks its 10th anniversary by opening Havana Aqua Park Salalah in the Governorate of Dhofar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. European Union Foreign Minister said a key agreement curbing Iran's nuclear ambitions must be preserved as US President Donald Trump weighs whether to pull out of the pact. British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson said today that the deal was a crucial agreement that makes the world safer. His remarks came ahead of the talks in Brussels between ministers from Britain, France and Germany and their Iranian counterpart Javad Zarif. German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel said the EU wanted to preserve the deal because it's in their interest not to develop or to see that nuclear weapons are developed in Iran. Under the accord, Iran slowed its nuclear program in exchange for an easing of international economic sanctions. Trump has said he would consider scrapping the deal. Chinese reports said today that firefighting vessels have resumed attempts to put out a blaze aboard an oil tanker in the East China Sea. The reports follow an explosion aboard the Sanchi, whose 32-member crew is still mostly missing. Rescuers on Tuesday found a body believed to be a crew member from the Iranian-operated tanker, but there has been no sign of survivors. Chinese officials have warned that the tanker could explode and sink, possibly triggering an environmental disaster. The Sanchi was carrying nearly 1 million barrels of condensate, a type of gassy ultralight oil, when it collided on Saturday with a freighter 257 kilometers from Shanghai and caught fire. British Prime Minister Theresa May announced the new environment plan in Barnes, southwest London. She had this to say.
We will continue to lead the world in delivering on our commitments to the planet, from fulfilling the environmental aspects of the UN Sustainable Development Goals to complying with the Paris Climate Agreement. Our clean growth strategy set out our commitment to phase out unabated coal-fired electricity by 2025, and through the Power Past Coal Alliance, which the UK established with Canada, we are encouraging other countries to do the same. 26 nations have already joined the alliance, and I will carry on pressing others to join too. Since 2010, air quality has improved and will continue to improve as the result of the action we're taking, but I know there's more to do. That's why we've committed £3.5 billion to support measures to improve air quality. We're investing in electric vehicle infrastructure and new charging technologies, supporting the rollout of low-carbon buses and expanding cycling and walking infrastructure. In July, we published our plan to tackle traffic pollution, and we will end the sale of new conventional petrol and diesel cars by 2040. In the last budget, we announced a £220 million Clean Air Fund, paid for by tax changes to company car tax and vehicle excise duty on new diesel cars. This year, we will set out how government will support the transition to almost all cars and vans being zero-emission vehicles by 2050.
Meanwhile, a study commissioned by London Mayor Sadiq Khan shows that almost 500,000 jobs are under threat if Britain fails to strike a deal on future relations with the European Union before it leaves the bloc.
What I've sought to do is what the government hasn't done, which is to undertake an impact assessment of the various scenarios being negotiated by the government with the European Union. And what I've done is said to independent experts, and these experts, by the way, are used by the government, they're used by the Bank of England, they're used by the British Chamber of Commerce. And what I've asked them to do is to look at the key sectors across London and the UK. From what's clear from this report published today is that the harder the Brexit deal, no customs union, no single market, no transitional deal, the worse it is for jobs, for investment and for trade. And what I'd encourage the government to do is to look at the expert evidence done by economists this government relies upon.
After being cut off from the outside world for 36 hours due to heavy snowfall and avalanche risks, all routes to the Swiss resort town of Zermatt reopened today. Stranded tourists expressed their relief but praised the local authorities and services for their handling of the situation. Train connections were resumed yesterday evening. The Matterhorn-Gotthard band train with a capacity of 250 people eased out of Zermatt station after teams cleared huge snowdrifts from the more than 39 inches of snow that blanketed the region over a one-day period, coating railways and roads. An SLF avalanche forecaster said roughly 3 to 4 meters of snow had been dumped on the Zermatt area so far this year, which he called an extraordinary amount for the region in such a short span. Now for some more local news. The Space magazine specialized in architecture, designing and real estate chose Muscat among 7 best cities for investment in 2018. The CNN network in the United States in a report also described Muscat as the city of the Middle East and recommended it to be a destination for investors during the year. It also clarified that choosing Muscat came as a result of the Sultanate's enjoying peace and stability as well as its wise policy. The magazine also focused on the new Muscat International Airport that will transport 48 million passengers annually. It also pointed out that Muscat has a number of beautiful beaches, seafood, modern landmarks in addition to sandy desert areas that give the tourist a peace of mind. A number of projects were opened at the tourism destination Havana Aqua Park Salalah in the Governorate of Dhofar, marking the 10th anniversary of Mouria Tourism Development Company. During the ceremony, a presentation was given on the tourism destination Havana Salalah and its tourism and recreational facilities, mainly the water park and the environmentally friendly solid cottages. Havana Salalah project includes 7 hotels, particularly Salalah Rotana Resort with a capacity of 422 rooms, Al Fanar Hotel with 400 rooms, Juwaira Boutique Hotel with 87 rooms, and Soli Cottage with 15 chalets by the sea built by natural components. The opening ceremony was held under the patronage of His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Dhofar. In order to enrich the educational process and achieve the utmost advantage from advanced communication means, Muscat University succeeded in linking its academic sessions throughout live interactive view or online lectures with its counterparts at British universities. This process has enabled master students in the field of engineering studies at the university to listen and participate with lectures from Cranfield University and receive immediate replies to their queries. Muscat University seeks through its programs to keep pace with the up-to-date techniques within the context of continuously changing higher education. Oman Aviation Academy announced the enrollment of startup of the first batch of trainees during upcoming months. During the meeting held by the Board of Directors of the Academy, voting was made on electing head of the board, deputy head, and on forming subcommittees. The board also reviewed the proposed organizational structure and the executive plan of the Academy. It is worth mentioning that Oman Aviation Academy is the first specialized institution in the field of aviation training in the Sultanate, founded by an initiative of Oman Authority for Partnership for Development. The Governorate of Al-Dhahira is famous for a number of archaeological sites which made it stunning to visit for those interested in studying history. The archaeological sites of Bat, Al-Khatam and Al-Ain are considered the main sites in the Governorate, which are enlisted in UNESCO Heritage List. Excavations and searching works continue in these sites to discover secrets of these sites. The Ministry of Heritage and Culture, and in cooperation with a team from the University of Bologna, published a book entitled The Bronze Age of Bat, portraying the civilizational and cultural importance of these sites. These civilizations of Hafid and Nar existed in Bat 1000 years BC. The Ministry of Heritage and Culture is also working to enlist the cultural city of Qalhat within UNESCO Heritage List. Coinciding with the Omani Environment Day within activities organized by the Directorate of Environment and Climate Affairs in the Governorate of Musandam, the Environment Office in Wilaya of Deba, in cooperation with Deba Club Scouts and some schools of the Wilaya, held an activity of planting a number of qarm trees in the Wilaya due to the significant importance of this kind of plants in preserving the environmental balance and providing a suitable environment to some wild and marine organisms. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of Sea of Oman, Governorate of Musandam and Hajar Mountains, with chances of scattered rainfall. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies, while winds will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. The government stresses on the independence of Center of Competition Protection and Prevention of Monopoly is to provide an atmosphere of economic freedom. And 49,000 male and female students start their first semester general education diploma exams. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.